All right, today we have another fantastic triple base suggestion from a viewer, putting all the Brown-Forman barrel proofs head to head. So today we have Woodford Reserve Batch Proof. This is the 2024 edition against the Old Forester Batch Proof. And now this is a single, now these are only single barrels, but this one I got in the gift shop, pretty good single barrel, against a off-the-shelf Jack Daniel's single barrel proof. Which one wins it? Hang tight, it's the Mash and Drum. What's up, folks? I'm Jason C, and welcome back to the Mash and Drum. Like, subscribe, and keep on helping me get to 100,000 subscribers for 2024. Just hit 90,000, so appreciate the support. And as always, if you have any suggestions for some head-to-head matchups, leave them below in the comments. As I mentioned, YouTube is really looking for engagement in the comment section, so feed the algorithm. All right, let's learn more about the matchup. All right, first up is the Woodford Reserve Batch Proof for 2024. This one comes in at 121.2 proof this year. It's non-age stated with a mash bill of 72% corn, 18% rye, and 10% malted barley. Now the retail nowadays for this bottle, you're looking at about 150 bucks. Now back in 2020, Old Forester announced a few changes to its single barrel program, bumping up its 90 proof offering to 100 proof and offering an unfiltered barrel strength option by way of single barrels. Mash bill of 72% corn, 18% rye, and 10% malted barley. Now being single barrels, the proofs do vary, but can get pretty high in the 130s. This one happens to be 128.6 proof. They are usually about 5 years old and retail for about 80 bucks. Lastly is the Jack Daniel's single barrel proof Tennessee whiskey, bottled straight from the barrel at its full proof. These barrel proof offerings are usually seen from about 125 to 140 proof and sometimes even higher. Mash bill of 80% corn, 12% rye, 8% malted barley. Price for this one, about 70 bucks. So this is your first time watching a triple base episode. Essentially what I do is I nose them, I taste them, and I also judge the finish. Basically, whichever glass wins gets 1 point, and the glass with the most points out of the 3 categories wins the matchup. So I'm just gonna mix these around a bit one more time, and we will dive into the nose. All right, glass 1, let's see what we get. Here we go. Definitely some brown sugar and banana here. Now the interesting thing about this blind is that Jack and both Old Forester both have banana notes. Woodford, I sometimes get it, but we'll see if I get it, you know, when these are next to each other. That's kind of the interesting things with blind tasting sometimes. Yeah, this is a lot of brown sugar, hint of chocolate covered banana. Really, really sweet on the nose. That one smells fantastic. All right, let's go to number 2 here. Wow, number 2 coming off of number 1 is actually a bit more, coming off a bit more grain forward. A little bit more of a bright corn note. But again, your typical vanillas, caramels here, maybe a slight hint of banana in this one as well. Yeah, a little bit lighter on the nose compared to number 1. All right, let's go to number 3. So out of the 3 of them, number 3 actually has a little bit of a dark fruit kick. A little bit of like a cherry note. Definitely some oak. I think it's between 1 and 3. Oh, man, 1 smells fantastic. And 3 has a lot of caramel too. I think just based on the glass that I can't wait to drink, I'm gonna give it to number 1. So number 1 gets the nose. Let's go to palate. Here we go. That tastes like a straight up peanut butter banana sandwich in a glass. Wow. Huge punch of flavor here. A lot of very rich texture. Yeah, peanut butter banana chocolate with a lot of spice in the back end. Wow. That is a beast of a whiskey right there. All right, let's go to number 2. Yeah, number 2 coming off of number 1, even on the palate. Much more corn forward. It's a little bit more grain forward, youthful. Caramel, vanilla, kind of like a Cracker Jack popcorn type of thing happening. Decent finish on it. Not as rich in texture as number 1. Yeah, that one just doesn't have it as far as standing up to number 1. So far number 1 has it on the palate, If 3 can make a move here, we'll see what happens. But if number 1 grabs the palate here too, then game over. So I like 3 better than 2. But 3 doesn't have this. I don't know. 3's pretty good too. Okay, yeah, 3 has the dark fruit. 3 has the big punch of flavor there. There's definitely a toasted type of bourbon aspect going on here, where I'm getting a little bit of like a marshmallow-y type vibe to it. The cherry is there, but I don't think I like it better than number 1. I think number 1. Yeah, you know what? And honestly, I think number 1 has the finish too. So interestingly enough, these all have, you know, the Jack Daniels and the Old Forester are both within $10 of each other, with Jack Daniels being the cheapest one at $70 versus $80. But then you have the Woodford, which goes all the way up to like $150, $160. So I'm curious where this shakes out, because my favorite here is number 1. Number 2 goes to Glass 3. Last place going to number 2 here. So number 2 is the... See, that makes sense. And I was hoping it would do better, but Old Forester single barrel proof. And I think... Now, these are single barrels, obviously. This was a gift shop selection. And as I mentioned, it's 128.6 proof. I actually really did enjoy this when I first cracked it open, but I think versus the other 2, the youthfulness of it kind of shows. Now remember, a lot of people don't realize that these Old Forester single barrel proofs are only about 4 to 5 years old. And some of them can be absolute monsters and really delicious. Some of them can drink really hot. It really depends on what you get. I much prefer the 100 proof single barrels for the Old Forester single barrels. So, but that's me. I think these are just a little bit too hot and drink a little bit too young. And in this blind, you could definitely taste the youthfulness in this one. So that means it comes down to these 2. Now I'm thinking this is probably the Jack because of that peanut butter banana, and this is the Woodford Reserve, and it is. The Woodford Reserve gets second place, coming in, and again, $150, $160 for that bottle. And just the regular Jack Daniel's single barrel proof off the shelf, coming in and taking out both of them. So I don't think I mentioned the proof. This is 131.1 proof. So these get pretty high of a proof point. But I actually think this is the oldest whiskey in this lineup too, because usually these single barrels, I think, are about 7 or 8 years old for the Tennessee whiskey single barrels from Jack Daniel's. So really, as far as the Brown-Forman barrel proof products here, this is probably the best value that you're gonna find. Plus, it's probably one of the best overall values you're gonna find on the shelf. That's if you like Jack Daniel's. So yeah, fun blind tasting, fun triple base. All right, guys, thanks for watching this triple base episode. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, hit that subscribe button below. Please hit the like button. And if you haven't yet, find me on Instagram. Let me know what you think about the results. If you thought it was going to go the exact same way, or do you think the Woodford probably would have taken this one? Or did you think the Old Forester probably would have came in and snuck out a win? Always love hearing from you guys. Don't forget to leave your suggestions down in the comments. And as I always say, it's not about the whiskey, it's the people you share with. So before we go, of course, we're going to blend them. And we're going to make Jack's Old Reserve. The Jack's Old Reserve bourbon, or Old Jack Woodford. Old Jack Woodford. I kind of like that better. I don't know, the nose is very... That smells like straight up gasoline. Yeah. That does not work at all. It's gone very bad. Nobody order the Old Jack Woodford. See you next time. Oh, that was bad.